Over the weekend, it looked briefly like Donald Trump was ready to acknowledge reality for the first time in his life. And many people around the country, including people I like, leaped to that and said, oh my God, it's happening. Is he acknowledging he lost the election? And I resisted the urge to do a live video because I suspected that Donald Trump is gonna Donald Trump. And it turns out that he did. Now, what is the clue that got everybody on the edge of their seat? It was Trump tweeting this. He won because the election was rigged. No vote watchers or observers allowed. Vote tabulated by a radical left, a privately owned company, Dominion, with a bad reputation and bum equipment that couldn't even qualify for Texas, which I won by a lot. The fake and silent media and more. Okay, so all of that's just misinformation. Dominion was in a couple states.
Equipment?
I don't even know.
You mean like, remember the brand from the 90s, like bum equipment? That was like a shirt. Yeah.
No.
Anyway, yes, keep going with this ridiculousness.
Yeah, we can try to figure out what bum equipment is, but a lot of this is you have to have Fox News brain to understand any of that. It's nonsense. The first two words are he won, which seems like he's acknowledging that Biden did actually win. But it turns out when people started tweeting, oh my God, look what he did, Trump realized, oh my God, look what I did. And so he started saying things like this. And so this is just a mishmash of the last 2 days of his social media activity. But there are things like, I won the election, but you just admitted you didn't. And understand that I won the election, which when I screen capped it was 2 hours ago, is a slightly lower energy, lower D version of I won the election, which he did 9 hours earlier. So basically he's just waiting like a third of each day to tweet out that he still won the election, even though his court cases are getting thrown out, which we'll talk about. The recounts aren't going his way, which we've talked about. But he's still confident. He has that at this late date.
You know, nothing says you're a loser more than saying that you won, even though you categorically and objectively lost. Like, you know, this is if the Tampa Bay Rays were like, we won, everyone would be like, okay, that's not how we play baseball. You know, like you don't get to just say you won. And when you say you did, literally no one wants to listen to that. It's just pathetic and it's whiny. And this is ostensibly the president. And I love that he thinks that that's correcting his mistake rather than just digging himself, a bigger, sadder hole for his tears to fill it up with, like he just add a little addendum tweet. We've all done it and be like, asterisk, like, he only won because, or I meant to put that in air quotes or whatever it is. But I love that we can just fill in his tweet with I won the election because I refuse to accept reality and because all of the court cases I've presented in multiple states have completely imploded because my lawyer is drunk all the time.
And that's his best quality.
And exactly.
Yeah, you're right. We would never accept this from like a football team, but that's because when it's serious, like the outcome of a sporting event, we care about reality. When it's like fluffy nonsense, like who's gonna be our next president, it's whatever the guy we like says. That's basically how things work. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.